Hi, it's Mr. YouTube. We have some good cars for you today on channel 66. We're at our garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today. Looks like we got ourselves a 2019 Volkswagen Passat. A nice looking vehicle. Looks similar to the Volkswagen Jetta we tested 2 weeks ago, but bigger. They sent it all the way from Michigan just for us, although it originated from Chattanooga, Tennessee, where these are made. Yep, not a real German car. It's an American car, sort of. Another rear view, and this looks pretty good with this dark blue paint and the light ivory interior. The base Passat runs around $23,000. This was the upgraded R line. Says so right here on the grille. The R-Line package bumps the price up to $25 grand, minus $5. Includes a list of luxury equipment. I'll just scroll down so you can look at it. The only option was the LED light package. Wow, an extra $1,200. They better be good. Here's the total tab with shipping. Pardon my shaky hand, I don't use a tripod anymore, it broke. If you watch my videos, you know one of the first things we do when we get a vehicle is take the headlights out and test them in the dark. For $1,200, I think we ought to test these right now, see how they operate. It's dark enough, let's take these headlights out and see how they perform. Here we have the low beams on a building 100 feet away. Light is very bright. Rides a bit low to the ground. Go to high beam. Very bright. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away. Lights up very nice. Good widespread. Go to low beam. Very bright. Goes out around 250 feet. More than adequate for city driving. Excellent lights. No complaints. Back in the olden days, if you had a burned out headlight or a headlight that broke, you simply went down to the Checker Auto place and bought a new headlight for $20. I think those days are gone. Don't break these. They'll cost a fortune to repair. The fake internet media has been telling us that the V6 280 horsepower engine is available for 2019, which jacks the price up to around 40 grand, by the way, if it's available. But apparently Volkswagen says no, it's not. For 2019, the V6 has been dropped. So far with the 1.8 liter, that's been dropped too. You only get this. It's the well-established Volkswagen 2-liter turbo, putting out 174 horsepower. I found it rather odd we only get a 6-speed automatic when the cheaper Jetta gets an 8-speed automatic, but that's what you get. Here are your fuel economy claims, 25, 36, 29. We're going to rack up around 400 to 500 miles. See if that's true. If you're watching this video for fuel economy, you might want to watch the whole thing. By the way, it's very unusual to have a German car where you can actually find the battery. Most of them are hidden in the trunk or somewhere crazy. But here it is, easily accessible. Thank you, Volkswagen. Even though you only have 6 gears in the transmission, you do have a sport mode that livens things up a bit. Or shift over to the right where the plus and negative are to shift manually. That's your second option. Your third option, paddle shifters on the steering wheel for shifting manually. Putting pedals on the steering wheel is the proper place to have them because you can reach them regardless of the wheel position, like when taking corners. Where if they put them on the steering column like the Italians do, you can only reach them when driving in a straight line. They belong on the steering wheel. Volkswagen got it right. Since we're standing still, a good time to take a peek in the cabin, see what we have here. Nothing fancy, but pretty simple. All materials and workmanship, very good. It's fake leather, but feels nice. A good old-fashioned manual emergency brake, the way they should all be, not this electronic emergency brake garbage we get nowadays. The glove box is large enough. This is the way climate control should be. 3 simple knobs and a few buttons. You can operate it without taking your eyes off the road. We get a well-designed gauge cluster with an information pod in between. The infotainment screen's not the biggest I've ever seen, but big enough for me. The second row seating has plenty of room for 2 full-size adults. We have map pockets on both rear seats. A very large trunk. I'm told it's 16 cubic feet. Looks like more to me. And underneath the floor, we actually do get a spare tire. Thank you, Volkswagen. A lot of cars aren't coming with these anymore, especially in this price class. I like the cabin. It's very simple, clean, effective, nice quality, but there were a couple gripes I had, 2 in particular. And once again, if you watch my videos, you know where I'm going with this. The bodywork under the door is way too wide. These are known as the rocker panels. Every time you step out of the vehicle, your leg's rubbing on this panel here. And to make it worse, a lot of this bodywork is exposed to the outside, which means it's exposed to the elements. Mud, snow, sleet builds up on the body, and when you step out, rubs on your legs. If you live where it rains or snows a lot, you might want to keep a rag handy to keep this clean, wipe it down. Why do manufacturers do this? I've been asking them for decades. They don't have an answer. They don't even know. So don't ask me. And my second gripe, while the sun visors do fold off to the side to supposedly block out the sun, they don't slide back and forth to block out the sun, so you have this big opening here, and on a hot 120-degree day, your face is going to get baked like a potato. Volkswagen's been making cars for, 80 years now. You think they would fix this, or somebody would notice this. Oh well. You'll have to tint the windows yourself, I guess, if you live in a hot climate. This concludes the first half of the video, show and tell segment. Next we're going to do driving. Lots of driving to get fuel economy figures and see how this performs. Let's start by talking about the power steering system. On their website, Volkswagen brags how quick and responsive this power steering is, as well as being light, and it's true. I could operate this with my little finger. I could probably blow on it with my breath. It is light, and it is responsive. I'll give them credit for that. On the other hand, there is absolutely positively no feel or feedback. It's like driving a video game. And I'm not picking on Volkswagen here. This is pretty common on most German cars. They just don't want to have feel in their steering for some reason. It's not a deal killer. You'll get used to it. You just have to adapt, that's all. German sedans are known for their good cornering ability, so let's take this turning circle here. See if we can spin this baby out. Apparently not. We're doing pretty good here. I'm very impressed. No tire squealing or anything. Along with the quick steering, fun to drive. The base Passat comes with 17-inch wheels and tires, which provides excellent ride quality. If you order the R-Line, they bump up to 19-inch wheels, which provides better handling, as we just saw on the turning circle, but takes away some of the ride quality. As we do in all of my videos, we're going to take some speed bumps around 20 to 25 miles per hour to see how the car does on impacts, especially with these larger 19-inch wheels in this case. Here we go. Bump number 1 coming up. Not too bad. 25 miles per hour. Number 2. Heard it, but didn't really feel it too much. Number 3. And here comes the big nasty one. Hang on to your hat. Not too bad. I'd say we passed. We'll put in the drive mode. This transmission is geared mainly for fuel economy, not response. So if you're in a hurry, you need to downshift to the S mode, as we see right here. And that will give us a better 0 to 60 time. Yep. Shifting at 6,200 RPM, just under the red line. Oh, these brakes are very strong. Gotta be careful. You might go through the windshield if you don't have your seatbelt on. But I like brakes like that, responsive. With these 0 to 60 runs we've been doing and other high-performance driving, our fuel economy's dropped to around 22 mpg. But we're going to take this out tomorrow on some long highway trips, see if we can bump up the figures quite a bit. I'm hoping to get that 36 miles per gallon advertised on the window sticker. We'll see. If you're interested in the fuel economy figures of the Passat, you've come to the right place. We're going to take a very long highway trip today and see what type of figures we can rack up. And we'll start by resetting the fuel economy meter to 0. On the highway, the suspension is reasonably comfortable at around 75 miles per hour. However, these big 19-inch wheels and tires do a lot of thumping on rough pavement, and that noise gets to be rather annoying after a while. Not a deal killer, just the way it is. Well, it looks like our trip's going to be longer than I thought, since they decided to haul this nuclear waste 30 miles per hour under the speed limit in the high-peak traffic area instead of 2 o'clock in the morning. Time to pass. Now that we passed the slow post, we can open up this vehicle and drive the German sedan the way it was meant to be, wide open. I'm impressed with the high-speed stability. It's not affected by crosswinds at all, and the wind noise is very low. You do have to be careful with this quick steering. If you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you'll end up in another lane. It's very responsive. Don't snooze or you'll lose. The passing ability of this 4-cylinder turbo is excellent. I really don't miss the V6 engine at all. This is more than adequate. Sounds nice too. Works even better if you put the transmission in the sport mode. I see we're nearing our destination. We'll be pulling over soon to check the fuel economy. Okay, just under 3 hours. We did 200 miles. Let's see what our fuel economy turned out to be. This is just the first half of our trip. We have a return journey coming up in a few minutes. Don't go away. We've reached our destination of paradise, and once I'm done here, we'll get back on the road and make a return trip. Stay tuned. We're ready to start our trip back. After we rack up all the miles, we'll see what our total fuel economy was for this trip. Welcome to the town of nothing, where you have absolutely nothing. Unless you like rattlesnakes. Well, it looks like we're not moving. Another happy hour accident. I guess we'll have to continue this video tomorrow, because we're certainly not going anywhere today. In spite of delays, we're coming to the end of our trip. Finally, we're going to pull over and see what our fuel economy ended up being. Stand by. Okay, our travel time was just under 7 hours. We put 423 miles on this trip. Let's see what the fuel economy ended up being. 34.8. That's pretty close to the 36 mpg claimed on the window sticker, but I'd say that's very impressive. As far as our one-week test goes, we tripped the odometer with 100 miles on it. Add that 400, that gives us 523 miles. On top of that, the computer says we have 55 miles more range left. Even though the fuel warning light just came on, indicating the 2-gallon reserve, we still have fuel left in the 18.5-gallon tank.
So I'm doing my math right. That's approximately 550 miles out of a tank if you drive on the freeway. I'd say that's rather impressive. And since I'm running out of fuel, probably time to wrap this video up.
So after a week of driving, what's my take on this Volkswagen Passat? Well, if you're looking for a nice German sedan, the price is certainly reasonable if you keep the option list low, and the fuel economy is well established according to my test. Might be worth a look for you. And you have peace of mind with that 6 years, 72,000 mile warranty. Here's a link to other Volkswagen vehicles we've driven lately. Just click and watch.